Styling with the Chaos Knight.
All right, get your Pog champs ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the undefeated LGD Forever Young 10-0 to take on the solid into Newbee.
I think this
battle
is,
for supremacy.
Yeah, this is going to be a test for LFY, right? If they beat Newbee here 2-0, then they're looking like they could finish the group stage in a perfect fashion. And this is, I mean, finishing the group stage in perfect score is one of the rare feats that happens in TI, you know, once a couple of years.
So many fun things to look forward to in this game. Obviously, the Kaka Sand King, always a sight to behold, and you know, the Afu Night Stalker, equally impressive in his own right, to very high impact 4 positions to keep an eye on. You've got the SCCC Invoker, the always exciting Dusa mid. That's the thing about Super, right? Is he doesn't get to play the flashy heroes very often, but somehow he makes big plays with them all the same.
If you were told that you play TI and you do super well at TI, but all you could do is play Dragon Knight, are you gonna be complaining?
Absolutely not.
There you go.
Like, was Universe complaining when he had to play Darkseer every game, but EG was winning almost every game?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
If you have to play those heroes and you lose, though, then you got problems.
It's like, Captain, we need to talk. All right, looks like we're going to see a little bit of a challenge coming in for Newbee. They are rushing towards a rune, and Super, is he going to give up? Is he going to go for it? He gives it up. Wise choice.
Newbee flexing on LFY here early. Good start for them with that extra bounty rune pickup. They'll go back and collect theirs as well. So it's going to be the off-lane Nature's Prophet for Inflame. Now this I'm really going to keep my eyes on, because coming into this tournament, Inflame was the weak point of LFY. He was dying a lot in the off-lane. He had slow starts, and oftentimes like he was just a non-factor. But 10-0, obviously he's had a better performance. We got to witness his doom where he just crushed his lane. He did get help that time.
He was safe lane too in that game.
Yeah, he got a lot more support. Now he's a sacrificial off-lane Nature's Prophet up against a decent kill combo here. So let's see if he's able to stay alive. Meanwhile, for LFY, the early pressure is going to come in mid. They get that initial harass off on SCCC, but quickly eat his tree. Kaka there to mirror Afu's rotation. So we'll likely see the dual lanes in mid, at least for now. Another side of Newbee in the offlane, KP as the puck. He is going to be up against a Weaver-Rubik duo, which is pressuring him pretty hard early.
Doesn't have orb anymore.
Lift off. KP might be giving up the first blood here. Pops the Fairy Fire. Salves up as well. He's blown a lot of regen. And with that, orbing away to safety. He will escape, but that is really going to put him on the back foot in this lane.
Yeah, the damage has already been done. Fairy Fire and Salve being used, and he's not even back to full HP. Also had a panic buy a TP throw, which, you know,
going to slow down the regen that might help him avoid going home, and
just getting boots.
Boots that potentially prevent you from dying.
Yeah, he you know, used orbs for a CS, and like he felt good about himself, and then recognizing that LFY just jumped straight on him. So, you know, back to your point, I feel like both of the offlaners in this game is going to have a really tough time. It might be one of those situations like, who's going to do worse? This is truly a mirror game for all the lanes, all the rotations. Ooh, nice regen route being selected. Kaka is going to get it canceled immediately, but at least got a good half-second off.
Oh, Inflame's coming in, wants to try and punish this. Doesn't actually have a Sprout, so more of a taunting maneuver, if anything. Is leaving a 1v1 bottom now as the Rubik... actually,
no,
he's coming back.
Yeah.
Looks like he wanted to rotate for a moment there. So yeah, no major lane swaps as of yet. Afu just continues to roam. Kaka continues to match his movements. Yep. And as far as the mid lane goes, SCCC catching up nicely. Super had that early advantage. And generally, this is what we will see with the Dusas. In most matchups, she'll tend to struggle a little bit, you know, as the, you know, like let's say that 3 to like 8 minute mark hits, and then as the Mystic Snake gets maxed out, you start having some stacks. She catapults herself back into the supremacy when it comes to net worth.
I wouldn't even say 3 to 8 minute mark. I think as soon as you pick up the level 5 and level 3 Mystic Snakes, the damage that it does is surprisingly a high amount, especially against a slow moving mid hero. You could bounce it off, the creep wave a little bit, and then Invoker is going to take a big hit.
This really sucks for Kaka. He's trying to trade blows with Afu, but does not have the point in caustic yet, so he's just losing those trades every time.
Yeah.
With the lower armor, the worse base damage, like that's just not effective from him.
Trading hits with Caustic Finale has been nerfed in the recent patch anyways, so it's not even a big part of the Sand King game plan, recently at least. I think Sand King is more important about roaming. We do even see Sand King taking that Sandstorm relatively early nowadays to stack camps.
I think Zai is probably the one who does it the most. Like he'll even start with it at level 1 and just jungle.
Yep.
Obviously, Invoker wants a little help mid. So that won't be the case. Trying to threaten Super. Super going to keep that Mana Shield off unless he really needs it. So, early days here in the lanes, but it seems for the most part fairly even in terms of the farm trading that's happening. The first nighttime hits though, and as the wolf howls, Afu gets aggressive. Where will he go? What opportunities will he find?
There was a ward seeing that Afu rotating towards that direction, so I think SC is aware. Look at the position that SC is in right now. He is playing more on the south side next to his tower, expecting a stab coming in from the top. So, of course, Sand King is also revealing the fact that there is.
It's not really a possible kill, but some good harass could be here for Newbee. Don't even have the mana for a Sunstrike right now. Afu will journey north. It's the dire ward that you were mentioning, but it doesn't. Oh, now it does. Sees him.
Yep.
As he lurks near the bounty rune spawn. He will be backing away.
So I wonder, in a broad theory sense, like nothing's happening. Nobody's really dying. Sure, KP's having a tough time, and it looks like he is forced away again. Does this, do you think, favor one team over the other, or do you think it's actually pretty even?
They're gonna make a move here on Kaka. We'll get forced back. I don't know. Actually, I think both teams have their power spikes, so I don't necessarily feel like it favors either team.
It feels pretty even, yeah?
Yeah, like
they're making it go up top.
Trying to jump. Okay.
Yeah, he's fine. Nothing happens, yeah.
Making me nervous, Lumi. Yeah, I mean, both teams have their power spikes, right? Like, Newbee's good once they get their Blink Daggers and levels on the Sand King and the puck. Speaking of that puck, very heavy bullying. As they are going to rotate 3 on mid. They wanted to send potentially an SCCC. DDC trying to maneuver into position. There is a dire ward here.
They know DDC's here.
Out of this rotation. He might get caught anyway, though. But with the Prophet coming in, that's the +1 that I'm not sure Newbee was aware of. As Super has that early point in Stone Gaze, corrals SCCC, gets the kill, turns on the Mana Shield to ensure his retreat simultaneously. Kaka's got a TP out. Newbee knew this was coming, but they just didn't bank on the NP +1 factor as Faith Shrines up, but sticks around. Now trying for the Ancient Deny, not going to happen. A big win for LFY.
That was huge, the fact that he activated his Shrine and did nothing. And now this wave is going to get denied as well. All right, this is bad news, Bears.
I think they just didn't realize that there was the NP +1 factor or weren't really considering it because they saw the Rubik there. They know the Night Stalker's been in their jungle. Like, there's nothing really mysterious about that gank.
Bottom, they're going to make it go on KP here. Does he have the orb? He will run up, but he's going to go down the bug, giving vision. Kaka is going to burrow strike tower. Shouldn't be enough to kill Afu. All of a sudden, after a slow start, LFY gets 3 kills, forces out multiple teleport swirls. And I think this is the start that LFY needed and wanted, because look at their core heroes. You got a Weaver, you got a Dusa, heroes that don't start the game, coming out of the gates exploding. So having this little bit of beneficial start is fairly good for these type of heroes.
So what's next for LFY? Just keep on farming? Is there...
Yeah, keep on farming, pretty much.
What are their timings? Because I think it's kind of obvious for Newbee, like, you want Invoker to just farm, you find Sunstrike kills, you get your Blink Daggers on your key team fight supports, and, slash utility heroes like the Puck, and you fight around that. But talk me through LFY's strategy.
I think LFY is just going to look to defend all of their objective. Weaver as well as Dusa, very strong core support in. Get off a Swarm or Stone Gaze and help out the ally. I don't think they're actively looking for any kind of, let's say, 5-man smoke gang into the enemy jungle or any type of that kind of movement. So hunker down, farm, and be boring, but, win the game. Also, largely, it comes down to what kind of items that Inflame is going to go for. Is it going to be, going for the Ultra Greedy? Is it going to be Hanamitis? Or are we going to fight more often with, like, Phase Drums or somewhere in between with something like Orchids? I think his item choice is going to largely depend. He's porting around the map and taking bounty routes right now, though.
That's one small thing that Nature's Prophet can do now, which wasn't relevant before. Just a tiny bit of extra economic damage for him. Offer against the team is Kaka gets clipped by the swarm here. Monet's on the chase, and it looks like they do want to pursue. KP, however, in position. Potentially, they're trying to kill off that pesky bug. The auto attacks are really hitting him hard. Now the coil under tower. I believe he does have the time lapse up, though, and he will just zip away mid-burrow strike. Unafraid. Does force out the coil. Yep, certainly a good trade for the time lapse. Meanwhile, Newbee, their big siege engine will be Mugi here, at least through the early game, and he is already getting to work on the wave. Casca bouncing as they try to clean up these creeps. Start to apply pressure to that tier 1 tower and match the pressure that LFY is inserting elsewhere. Chaos Knight is not an RNG god, at least not yet. Only got the one illusion, but trying to move in. Afu to get the minus armor, and perhaps he's overextending. CK is a tanky hero, but he gets silenced. He gets controlled. It might be daytime, but this Night Stalker don't care. LFY. Clean him up.
Yep, 4-0 right now for LFY. Newbee, you know, going for much more early game timing. Unfortunately, so far not on the board yet. Some of the critical core heroes, such as the Puck, struggling on the bottom side of the map, so his Blink Dagger timing is going to get heavily delayed. Sanking obviously roaming, so he's not going to get his Blink Dagger anytime soon. I wonder where is going to be Newbee's first point of, like, contention. Are they going to... What do they actually need? Blink Daggers are not going to come anytime soon, so let's forget about that.
I think you are waiting for that, though.
Well,
how else are they going to take fights?
I mean, they're going to have to farm for the next 10 minutes to get that, and I think for LFY, that's exactly what they want.
It's basically smoke ganks then. Like,
yeah.
I don't really see another way for Newbee to start fights. They can smoke, try to set up some Sunstrike kills. That's really the dream scenario. Problem is, LFY are so mobile that you can easily suddenly find yourself facing 4 or 5 heroes with the potential for the Night Stalker to rotate in, as it is. I imagine we'll see that point in Darkness relatively soon, and the next nighttime is coming, but there has been a smoke rotation. LFY descending on Mugi. They sprout him up. He tries to quelling out, but they lock him down with the lift, pulling him back. He gets off the stun here. It's only the 2-second one, and Monet joins the party with the double damage run on Super. They chew through the Knight of Chaos, and they will kill him off.
Yep. And even though LFY is not exactly the best pushing lineup, they get a kill, they move on top, and they have a double damage on Super.
I think Newbee are in this mindset of we have to be surgical when we go for picks. We have to be very quick because of that mobility. So we really want our blinks. We really just want to farm right now. But LFY are just putting, you know, foot on the pedal and applying the gas and saying, no, we're going to fight you right now before you come online.
I mean, you say that they're putting the foot on the gas, but it's a freaking Rubik. You know, it's a Prophet. It's not a Spear Breaker running at you, or it's not, you know, those kind of crazy type of heroes.
It's a deceptive type of...
It's more the fact that LFY is just being at the right place with the right numbers.
They're pushing in on Faith now, want to finish him off. They have the damage, they get the kill. Another pick. The power of that early Blightstone combined with the swarm, some heavy minus armor, and all the while applying pressure mid too. LFY, just every movement has a purpose, and every movement achieving a goal, whether it's a kill, whether it's a tower, a ward. And this is during daytime. The next nighttime's coming soon.
Right. They're not like... The Weaver's building Lincolns. He's not trying to go for some big damage item.
They even go for Kaka. They've got Dust ready. Inflame is on point. The team firing on all cylinders as they're going to force him back, but here comes the rotation from KP. They go for the Sprout play. Still diving him. That minus armor is substantial.
Oh, the
not
heal,
quite
though.
enough. And now Faith looks for the turret. The Casca bouncing. And he will end up going down. While that was happening, though, Dire Courier will bite the dust, so a small sacrifice here.
Monet?
At the altar, Faith, Sunstrike coming in, but Monet stands his ground. He's able to time-lapse it off, and now Kitsukuchi forward in just a moment. He can look for the Sankey kill. Kaka almost dead. One more auto attack secures the kill, and SCCC needs to answer back, but Super is there, and very tanky. Looks like the Weaver has the TP. He'll make it out, but they do sacrifice their Medusa. A pretty high price to pay. 2 beefy cores down. All they got were some supports, so their first blunder as LFY get cocky.
Yeah, they lose all of their cores, right? They lose the Dusa, they lose the Prophet.
Weaver TP.
Okay, Weaver TP out, but still, that's a big win for Newbee. We were saying that, you know, they need to be surgical with their kills. Well, when they're brought to you on a silver platter in front of your tier 3, 12 minutes in a game, we take those.
Behold Newbee's master plan. get crushed early, and then LFY will get sloppy.
Yeah. Put them in a false sense of security, man.
So how are we looking? Are there any key items close? KP's Blink is nearby. Only 500 gold or so to go. But LFY still on the hunt, still playing aggressive kill Dota. They're going to look for Faith now, has the teleport scroll. Coming in, Nature's Prophet on a bouncing quick TP. Don't think they'll bring him down in time, but it'll be close.
Oof.
A second later, he would have been done for.
Yep. Inflame has gone for the drums build I mentioned. Looks like he is going to be going for he's going to play the tempo controller for the team. He understands that he's got the Weaver, he's got the Dusa. They're going to ultimately carry the late game. He just needs to get them to the late game. And his item build will be nice for that.
Do you like the decision by SCCC to just go with the standard Quas Exhort Midas, as opposed to maybe considering something different, like with the early Quas Wex?
I think when you go Quas Wex, it's more of a team decision, right? If you go Quas Wex, the whole team needs to fight with you. And with heroes like Puck and Sand King, yes, they can fight early, but they're not fighting now because they need the blink. Meanwhile, in the river, somebody's fighting. It's going to be Invoker going in.
Bad time for KP to die, though. He's close to the blink. He gets the Night Stalker, but he will end up going down. Actually, still has most of his gold, so I guess it was largely all reliable. As Kaka will go down to the Mystic Sync. Now the Stone Gaze forcing Newbee away. You know, a lot of people view Medusa as a hero that just needs to farm all game, but Super demonstrating that Medusa can take the fights early and be a big force.
Yep. Got the Dragon Lance, a very good stat item. Gonna go for a Hurricane Pike. Small standard pieces. And he, like you said, is fighting hard.
So they got the blink on Puck now. Sand King blink in the quick buy. Still a long way to go for that. As far as our Chaos Knight goes, it's an armlet straight into an Echo Saber, so
standard stuff for him.
Very standard, very mid-game focused timing for him. Invoker will be that late-game insurance. But Newbee are starting to accrue the items and abilities, the levels they need to take that next round of engagement. So I expect, especially once this night ends, that they are going to really increase the pressure they're applying. Problem is they're doing it with a significant map control deficit, as LFY have taken over their jungle and they've taken those two crucial towers around the Roche pit.
Yep, the tier 1 mid, the tier 1 top. But I think once you have double blink daggers, a lot of it changes. The question is, once those blink dagger are online, how will LFY respawn? I think the correct response is just to group up. I think it's so hard to fight into the Stone Gaze. And we'll see if LFY end up doing that. Because Medusa sits in the front, does he really care about Blink Burrow Strike or Blink Dream Coil?
I think right now they can probably kill the Medusa if they literally throw everything at her. Like Maledict, the Invoker combo with the Sunstrike, Burrow Strike Epi, and the whole Puck complement of spells. And to be fair, there's no other save for the Medusa, so, or reset. But they have to throw everything at her, and God forbid you don't kill her, the fight is over. As a Radiant Scan will detect Newbee rummaging through the LFY jungle. They're going to move towards the pit. They're afraid of a potential Roche sneak. And now they look to break high ground, but Monet is there. He breaks it and runs away. So that first movement with the KP blink comes up empty.
I don't know whether they saw whether he had the blink or not yet. The Night Stalker is coming in too.
It is pretty late in the game for a Puck not.
You would expect it to have it at this time, yeah.
Kaka getting clipped here by the Swarm, now lifted back, and with that the Sandstorm stolen. Hoping the Burrow Strike would be used as he cast it, but nonetheless a kill again, just running through these Newbee backlines and cleaning up support heroes.
Yep, that's 2 kills.
When is Newbee gonna fight?
Well, they're trying to. It's just that LFY is being at right place at the right time. They cut them off, they break the smoke gang. Alpha also activate darkness at the time that the smoke gang came, so Newbee just got spooked. You try to walk up a hill, your smoke breaks, and darkness gets activated on the other side. You're like,
oh shit.
Yeah, like they just have vision on me. It's like I gotta run, and then they just get picked off because LFY are more mobile with a global TP. Mugi comes in. Okay, he pops the ultimate, and he's going for the kill. Where do you go, Rubik? Mugi's gonna pour it out. There's no way to cancel his TP because Rubik is dead. All right.
Finally, someone makes a play for Newbee. It's been a quiet start to the game. Although, with that said, items are still piling in. Monet has secured a very quick timing on his Lincoln Sphere. With that, the Dusa also going straight for the Ags now, it looks like. Grab the point booster. So, with that coming online in a bigger scale team fight, Chaos Knight will be very hamstrung in terms of what he can do. Still waiting for Newbee to really find their opening. Kaka's blink extremely slow.
You know what his normal timing on blink
like
is?
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
And we're probably looking at like a 23, 24-minute blink, unless they have a big team fight soon.
It might come right now here. Newbee smoked up again.
Right as daytime begins and that darkness ends, they try to make their move. They're going to pincer this top tower, try to lay down a ward. Faith will get the vision. I think that spot DDC here could be an opening. DDC suspects something.
That smoke is about to end. The creep wave
is coming. Dives into the trees. He's going to hide. He jukes them out. He baits them. And now they look for the turn. The Weaver's on the hunt, and he does have the Lincoln Sphere, so he's really not the hero you want to initiate on. Medusa coming in as well. Drops the Snake. The tower down to SCCC. So the objective's there. Now they just want to escape. Coil deployed defensively. Orbing back to safety. Moogie's on the high ground. They have the lip. Yes, sirree. DDC gets pushed up by the Hurricane Pike of Super. That's teamwork, folks. And now they'll find the Chaos Knight. They'll take Kaka as well.
Meanwhile, on the right side,
they're
Afu.
also diving Faith. Afu just munching down on that tasty Witch Doctor. A vampire's dream. He'll claim the third kill of the fight.
Somehow, Inflame got it. Wrath of Nature Chaos. There we go. It's got a double off of that, and now Roshan is happening.
That was just so crisp. Like the way Super forced DDC up, they had about a quarter second there to react and time it right.
Yep.
Before he passed in the wrong direction. They knew he was going for the TP.
DDC had Orb stolen. He was going to get there on his own anyways, but the style point, you know, with the teamwork for staff.
Indeed. And LFY. This looks like a 10-0 team, Lumi.
Yeah, like
they're playing Newbee. Newbee is the second best team in their group by record so far.
It's just the way they're winning. They're winning with Weaver and Dusa in the early game, right? That is just outscaling.
They're also winning with Inflame play Nature's Prophet, where coming in, like, he was almost always on just a tempo controller off lane. Felt very restricted in terms of the play style. Like, they've mixed it up a lot with the NP for him. We saw the Doom earlier in the tournament.
Uh-oh, Kaka. Gonna get caught in mid lane here. Invis Night Stalker popping out with Crippling Fear.
It's starting to look like a rout. LFY, all the signs that they are just gonna run roughshod over Newbee. Now continuing to munch on Faith. Tries to deal with it, but can't withstand the damage. And simultaneously in the bottom lane, the puck forced to TP away as Monet just keeps on pushing. He really wants to cut down these creeps, limit the momentum. LFY just rampaging towards their next kills. Already Afu, he's setting up the next gank. And that is really what I think is the hallmark of Afu's playstyle, is he's never thinking about the kill in front of them. He's thinking about the next kill and the next opportunity to have one.
For sure. I kind of compared him to Xiaowei, which is the previous position 4 player at the beginning of the year. And I think he's playing better than Xiaowei, which is saying a lot in terms of what Xiaowei has done for the Chinese community in the past.
There will be no redemption tour for Xiaowei this CI. Everyone's always wondering, how's he going to get in this time?
When Resolution needed a carry player, that was the calling, dude.
Oh, Empire you mean?
Sorry, yeah. I said Resolution needed a carry player. He became the carry player.
Perhaps a bit of a language barrier there.
No, it's fine. Dota is the only language we need.
Dota, the international language.
You need somebody there, you ping. Ping, ping, ping. And then
pinging is the international language. Yeah. That I agree with.
You got the chat wheel, It's fine.
Sedusa Ag's complete. LFY, a big tool in their arsenal now to continue taking more and more aggressive team fights. Such a fast timing for it too. And again, what's crazy is not like, the timing of the item, but the way they're getting them, where they're not just farming. They're constantly fighting with a Dusa, with a Weaver, and winning those fights convincingly.
Yep. Now, before we focus too much on what LFY is doing correctly and they're great and all that stuff, 10-0 team, Newbee, I feel like they are doing the necessary thing. They're sending smoke ganks repeatedly into the enemy jungle, looking for a pick, trying to get towers on the back of those picks. It's just not connecting. It also doesn't help that Kaka still doesn't have the Blink Dagger.
One thing Newbee is really not lacking when you look at their draft is vision. They don't have a good vision hero unless you want to count like Forge Spirits. Whereas LFY have the Nature's Prophet Treants. They have
Night
Night
Stalker
most importantly. I think vision has been a massive part of this game. You can also look at the warding setup that they've deployed after winning those fights.
Bottom side here, getting wrecked here by Monet at this point. Sprout.
Tornado comes in to try and interrupt this combo. Monet will get back to safety, but the threat is there. LFY continuing to push in all 3 lanes near constantly.
Slow siege begins on the mid lane. A part of the vision is that your support are just super poor when you're down by 13k. Faith is just having trouble buying his own items and keeping ward and counter ward up.
Continuing to chip away at this tier 3 mid. LFY already looking to try and put an end to this game and cap it off with their 11th victory. Not quite there yet, but certainly on the warpath as the Rubik Spellsteal comes out. Double EMPs potentially could turn this fight. LFY are going to be forced back for the time being. They did commit their Stone Gaze, so the Stone Gaze down, the Nature's Prophet ult expended. They decide to be content with what they've achieved here and back away.
Yeah, that was a little bit rough for LFY. They went up the high ground and 3 of their heroes ate a EMP Tornado. And I don't think there's too many Arcane Boots on the team. Rubik being having the only pair, so once you get hit by EMP Tornado, a lot of your mana is just out. Time to go back.
No hurry if you're LFY. All these heroes scale pretty well, I would say.
I wouldn't count Newbee out completely, even though none of their smoke gangs have been connecting, you know, even though perhaps they don't scale as well. If those gangs do start to connect, Newbee can't make the comeback, but blinks in, lifts him up after the sentry. Kaka trying to burrow out, but the last long-range right-click of Monet will take him down.
Monet is unafraid, now purging up Mugi, going straight for a big kill. He commits on the Chaos Knight. Won't be able to finish him off, but definitely feeling confident. CKP just continuing bottom lane to cut these waves, constantly trying to slow down any sort of push from Newbee. But it is those guerrilla warfare tactics that they are forced to resort to now.
There is a lot of spike burst damage potential coming out from Newbee squad. You have the Maledict, you have the Chaos Knight, obviously, with his ultimate. But moving forward, I don't know how long his illusions will be able to survive, especially in the light of the Aghanim Scepter Mystic Snakes that will be coming out from Super. Heck, even the Wrath of Nature will do a number on the illusions. Here comes yet another smoke from Newbee. I think that might be one of their last few smokes. They've been churning through them.
And they're all difficult to execute smokes because the lanes are pushing the deep ward.
Oh, he misses coil.
But they still try to make their move nonetheless. The lift comes in, interrupting this chain of initiation, and now the turn with the swarm there. Newbee are on the run. Faith wants to TP out. Looks like he should make it. Not so lucky perhaps as Kaka, but with that Casca bouncing, they are forced to just Stone Gaze. That will ultimately net them the Kaka kill. 2 down, coil expended. The Chaos Knight also committed.
Yeah, I think
that
it's high ground.
does mean it's high ground time.
Yeah, they're not even close to killing any of these guys. Yeah, the coil did miss, but I think if the coil hit on Monet, he still would have been fine. His team was there. Now Purge going on SC, he's going to go Invis and away. EMP Tornado did hit on Super, but there is that one pair of Arcane Boots to juice him up. And they just don't care. They're going to just run over this tier 3 and perhaps even the Rax. Blinks in, lift the Witch Doctor, and that should be another easy freebie. Okay, Burrow Strike. Pretty decent, picks up a Rubik kill.
Looking for more potentially. They're still working on the Rex though. Melee starting to drop. Monet, commitment here from him. The Deuce is low in mana, and with the CMP, it's going to be almost completely gone. Now they burrow her. They can try to focus her down. Super with the Hurricane Pike pushback. He keeps himself away from the epicenter, stays alive, all the while focusing on objectives on the Rex, but he is going to forfeit his life in doing so, and the Melee's not dead yet.
Okay.
And rare overextension.
Wow.
LFY get cocky again, and this time a huge punish. They haven't finished the Rex. It's down to barely an HP. You couldn't even see that light red sliver, but now healing itself up. Newbee not out of it yet.
Yeah, they went for the... Remember, it was DDC starting things off, blinking in for the very easy Witch Doctor kill, but came in. The Burrow Strike from Kaka was huge, getting 2. And I think there was a bit of indecision on the team as we're going to watch this fight one more time. They went in quickly, killed the Witch Doctor, and it's after this kill where half their team gets Burrow Strike. It's like, what do we do? Do we keep on fighting here, or do we hit the building? You see the cores are trying to go hit the building. The rest of the team is disengaging. And it's this indecision that will ultimately cost them a whole bunch of kills. Afu's just out of there already. And now DDC quickly picks up another on KP.
Nicely done. Newbee, signs of life. With that Invoker, for the first time this game, I want to say, is atop the net worth chart. As CCC, one of the strongest Invokers in the world. Certainly someone to be feared. We've already seen earlier in this tournament what someone on his level like Miracle can do with a late game Invoker in his hands. And
yep, level 20.
CCC equally capable on the hero. Going for the TP out here. No disable in time. Make it back to safety now.
A level 25 Invoker is one of those things where, like, even I'm really far behind, I'm getting my high ground siege. If I have a talented Invoker player and he's 25, I always feel like I have a chance. And I think that's the exact spot that Newbee is in right now. Even though they made a miraculous defense on their mid-racks, and it's regening very fast. That Rax is likely going to go down soon.
Sizable lead for LFY that they've accrued here. About 14k net worth advantage. Experience a little more manageable, around the 10k range. But now with the tier 3 down, they can go back for Shrine. So they try to cinch up the map control a bit further as they take that Shrine down. And meanwhile, in the mid lane, Kaka also picked off. Good rotation from the LFY roving gank party. And now Shrine number 2 on the menu. Newbee are starting to get a bit bottled up.
Yeah, it really honestly doesn't matter how many high ground base defense you make successfully if you just keep giving up random kills. This is like the second or third time I've seen the Sankin getting picked off. KP has been struggling outside. Granted, it's tough. You talked about the vision disparity between the two teams, right? It's Night Stalker, Prophet trees everywhere. At the same time, it's something that Newbee needs to do better on to have a chance.
This might just be the trump card. They have double BKB now. Newbee
and they just cheese.
Newbee have nothing on BKB. They have no damage. The Chaos Knight Illusions won't be a factor with Stone Gaze and the Mystic Snake Eggs. And all their nuke damage is going to be completely negated. So unless they can somehow either bait the BKBs out or chain stun the Dusa and the Weaver from 100 to 0 before they pop BKBs, this fight is extremely low percentage.
They have to do that twice because of Aegis and Cheese.
Yes. I mean, I hate to make it sound hopeless, but it should be hopeless if LFY play this right. I think this is actually a complete trump card.
Well, we've seen...
But never say never in Dota.
Yeah, we've seen the impossible has happened before. EMB Tornado will start things off. Gusa will eat it.
It's a good start, getting rid of most of her mana. Now jumping in on the Weaver. They ideally want to kill someone off once, not commit too much, and then in round 2, really go for the big plays. But Monet quickly BKBs, eyes on the prize, trying to focus down that melee Rex, but then turning back for heroes. Who will they get? They take down SCCC, instant buyback from him. It's all in on this fight. The Stone Gate comes through, locking Newbee in position, pummeling Monet, forcing him on his heels. The epicenter just tickles. Kaka next on the list. Melee Rex down. Faith getting battered as Monet continues to lay into him. Finally the Aegis pop, but it's a triple for the Weaver. The bug that could. And now looking for more. SCCC, dieback on the horizon, has to get back to safety. Lobs out the Sunstrike. Will barely survive. The Rubik was fishing for him. But still, the racks are down. His own Sunstrike also just whiffing. And LFY get what they came for.
And that was the defense, I believe 2 buybacks were used. KP definitely used his. I think CK used his in the one earlier. Despite of that, they still lose the team fight. And yeah, like you said, it's the ultimate trump card. It did take LFY more resource than I thought they needed, and that speaks to how good Newbee has been defending. But ultimately, it's not close to enough. And LFY is going to just rinse and repeat. They'll get the items. They'll wait for nighttime again. And they'll come for a Rax.
SCCC can do little but admire LFY. Gives them a nice round of applause.
Or maybe applauding their own futile attempt, man.
Or it's the sarcastic clap for his own team, perhaps.
Kaka trying to keep me out, but that Stone Gaze. Where'd you at?
Yeah.
Sorry, not Stone Gaze, the Stone Mystic Snake. Meanwhile, it's going to be TP out here, and he makes it home.
Oh, close call. Did commit the Stone Gaze for that, but Mugi barely surviving. While meanwhile, SCCC is on the hunt in his own right, trying to corral Afu. The Night Stalker has been dealt with, silenced and finished off. A 1-for-1 4-position trade. Stonegaze down. Might be a time where LFY want to play it safe, but they say, no, sir. We are going high ground, and we are doing it now. Tier 3 being rapidly brought down. SCCC, remember, no buyback for him. Does have to mind his positioning as DDC lunges in, gets the lift, gets the pullback, forces him away. Inflame comes in with the BKB Orchid. A head full of steam, wanting to corral him. He's going to, at least initially, lock down Faith. Commits for this. The BKB does the trick. Down goes the Witch Doctor. No buyback for 30. In comes the Sand King, but to what end? Will he have the follow-up damage? There's an epicenter ready. He's not even bothering. SCCC trying to take the man fight. That's not one that a shitty wizard can win. Down he goes too. And GG the call. LFY, an unblemished 11-0. An ultra kill for Monet. Just a cherry on top.
A game where you look, it's not the draft, it's just purely the execution.